Jocelyn, good morning. Katera, hello. Let's see, Lou, skiing. Lou lives in Idaho with skiing today. I love that. Tony North, good morning. How's everything in Washington? Good morning, everybody. My friend is here, the one and only Heather Estes. How are you?
I'm good.
Turn on your microphone. There you go. Now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I know you had a great event last night.
I did.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. So we.
That's why you're wearing the blue today.
That's right. Blue is for Human Trafficking Awareness / Prevention Month. And so we started doing ribbons and trees, which is very symbolic in many cultures. And Billings Depot was the first one to say yes. And so we went out there, got little strips of blue ribbon, all different patterns, and started hanging up ribbons to
and
represent.
The trees through very nice.
Yeah.
Is that in remembrance or honor
Yeah,
somebody
that's
who's been
just
trafficked?
Yep, that's just just to create awareness about human trafficking being everywhere. And it's specifically in Montana that
Sure.
we're a hub for human trafficking, unfortunately, and so just a lot of people don't know about it. It's still one of those like faux pas topics that nobody really wants to talk about.
Sure.
So it kind of lightens it, I think, in a way that people can start to engage. But out there is a QR code on any tree that we decorated, so they can scan the QR code and learn all about the Worthy Ranch, and also
smart.
Yep. So check it out, and you can still participate. So either you can do it at your home or your business. You can tie a ribbon, in your trees or your bushes, whatever.
Can we get the ribbons from you?
Yeah, you can get them. So at the Billings Depot, they have a whole basket of ribbons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
And so they can go out and do that anytime. Yeah. It was super fun.
Yeah. I watched your video. You did a really nice job.
Thank you.
Nice turnout of people.
Yeah, and we of course we went over across the street to have a cocktail to celebrate afterwards, right?
Of course, yes.
At my favorite place, Butcher Block, and it was so cool because they really are very particular about the things that they do and get engagement. So, but they agreed to let us do their aspen trees, which will be super cool.
That'll be
yeah,
nice.
because they're white and they're like really pretty.
That'll look nice.
And it's the trees look really cool because they're all wintry right now, so there's no nothing on them, and so now there's blue ribbon that's coming from all the branches.
How are the roads out there?
Oh my gosh.
Is it rough?
Yeah. Like, please go slow and be careful. Like,
go slow or stay home, people.
Yeah, or just stay home. Yeah, or just stay home. It's so bad. Like, I don't know if
it's pretty warm below.
Yes, that's why. So it's creating that ice on the roads.
Pretty darn nice out yesterday.
Yeah, it was beautiful outside, but now the roads are covered in ice, and so everybody's going really slow. But
sliding all over the place.
Yeah, and like when your brakes get stuck and you're like, how long is it going to happen? Like, how long am I going to go before it slows? Yeah.
So
kind of scary.
Quick, before we get to the next subject, so quickly tell everybody about the Worthy Ranch.
Yeah. So the Worthy Ranch is an organization. Our mission is to provide a healing path for survivors of human trafficking and abuse. And what that looks like is equine therapy, self-worth life coaching through the Worthiness Formula, and career development. So we've been working with survivors for over 7 years now. And so we have a lot of alumni, which is super cool.
Sure.
And this year, we are actually going to pilot our alumni retreat. So the program is developed to go through the summer for 12 weeks. And then at the end of those 12 weeks, we have an alumni retreat. So that's anybody that's been through our program comes to that 1 week retreat, but it overlaps with the other 12 weeks so that people that are just, women that are coming through it can be inspired. Yeah, so they can be inspired by the women that are further along in their journey.
So how do these women identify?
Yeah, so a lot of times, people look up, on websites and things like that, but the way that we find our survivors or they find us is through referrals. And so that's with collaborative partners like Her Campaign, YWCA, Hannah's House, like, so CLDI, the Rescue Mission. So different organizations that we partner with here, but also outside of Montana.
Sure.
They contact us and let us know if there's a survivor that would be ready to go into our program. Our program is built to be a transitional program. So a survivor who may be coming out of a safe house and ready to start that next chapter in their life. Or it's a transition time in their own life where they're just still struggling maybe and they just need an extra hand or some help. So we create both paths for them in the sense that, it's so much complex trauma that they experience. It's a lifelong journey of healing. And so that's the whole process of staying at the Worthy Ranch, is that we're always there for you.
I was thinking about this with regards to women that are trafficked, and even men too, is that a lot of times they're trafficked at the most vulnerable time of their lives. And so a lot of times they could be
children.
yeah.
Yeah, or they're just going through a bad time. I mean, like, I think what the Yellowstone Human Trafficking Task Force, where we serve on the task force as well, and Penny is a great advocate for us, and likewise,
Penny Ronnie, everybody.
yeah, who I think she's still in DC right now at a human trafficking conference speaking.
Sure.
But she, I think she posted something on Facebook about runaways, like our number one target for being
They're
trafficked.
vulnerable. They need food, they need shelter,
Yes.
and so they'll do a lot of times to do
Yes.
anything to
Right.
stay alive. Or sometimes people get on, they're addicts, they get addicted to something, and all of a sudden they'll do anything for that next high.
Yeah.
And so when they come when they come to you, there's a lot of trauma.
Yeah, well, and
all
they're
angles, right?
Yeah, and they're still healing from trauma. I think like people understand it's not you go through a program and then you're good. Like it's a lifelong journey, because as you go through life and different challenges come your way, things may trigger you, or you may have a repressed thought, or things that may bring up something that reminds you of that experience. And so you have to have tools and things to help you process that, the right people around you, right? So
that makes sense.
it is a lifetime journey. And the other thing we like to talk about is that it's not about numbers, how many survivors, it's really about the impact of one survivor, right? So our program is built to work with 6 to 10 survivors over the summer. And that one survivor you help it saves hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, in healthcare, hundreds of thousands of dollars in service for your community. And not to mention if they're getting career development, because they all have gifts and talents.
Yes.
Now they're putting back into the community, right? So there is so much around the work that that we do that is impactful to just one survivor. So it's so, and they take, working with a survivor is very, takes a lot of work. And
is there a cost for the retreat for these?
Nope. So,
and I knew that.
Yeah. So the cost for our programs are free to survivors, but also to the organizations that refer them. So we don't want to be a burden on the organization that's sending them, but we also don't want to be a burden on the survivor who wants to attend the program.
Through donations, grants, and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So part of our celebration yesterday was that we recently received a $10,000 grant from the Gianforte Family Foundation, who has been supporting us for the last couple of years, a little bit each year. And so that $10,000 is going to be used to formalize our curriculum. What that means is the Worthiness Formula will be able to be shared with other organizations who can start implementing. They don't have to come to the Worthy Ranch to experience, but it'll be a curriculum they can start at their own organization. And then our Career Direct program, which is our career development program also. So we'll be able to take all the survivors that have been through it so far, will now go through the career development part.
Love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that.
It's exciting.
A couple comments online. My friend Tony, who's actually watching today from Cabo San Lucas right now.
Oh.
She says, thank you for providing such a much needed program for survivors. That is cool.
Yeah.
She's saying, this is sad, obviously, about human trafficking.
Yeah.
From my friend Rachel. She says, I'm glad this is on here. She's really
glad
to be learning. I love that. Rachel also says, good morning, Tim. Sherry says you can take your own ribbon. You don't have to just get the ribbon.
Yeah, that's right. You can
any kind of a blue ribbon.
Yep, you can do any kind of blue ribbon. And if you're a Switch Society member, I know that Emily would be happy to help you find. So happy to help you find some blue material somewhere at Switch too. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it, and it's just again awareness, bringing some awareness to it. Unfortunately, trafficking is going to become the number one criminal activity in the world. It's going to surpass guns and weapons and surpass drugs, And the reality is that you can only sell a gun once. You can only sell drugs one time. But the profitability behind selling a person, you can sell them over and over and over again.
I thought about it that way, but that's really true. Isn't it?
Yep. So unfortunately, that's happening, and I think though with the awareness of human trafficking and what people are learning about it, how to identify, what might be a human trafficking situation, or just paying attention to things, I think will probably help not raise that to that point. I think.
Well, I know a lot of aren't people preyed upon at large events.
Yeah, so it doesn't just happen at large events, but people often talk about the Super Bowl, any concert, any event, even we have here in Billings, there's human trafficking happening. So if you're going to a concert at the Metro, 100% there's human trafficking happening within that
real.
event.
I think you're right. I mean, it's happening right under our nose. We don't
Yes.
even know it.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to have these kinds of conversations.
Yeah, I would highly not. I mean, there's lots of rules about if you identify or if you think you see something that's just doesn't feel right. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut about it. Never, 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 never approach a situation, but report it or make a call. Right? They're just don't ever confront. Yeah,
the people that are doing it.
yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this the last time, but there's a crazy, I went to my doctor who I absolutely love. And we were talking, she's always asking me, how's the ranch coming along? And I was sharing with her and I was like, well, I'd love to have some women's health doctors on as an advisor because that's a big part of their recovery is their bodies are just, they need so much health care and help just in the physical aspect. So we were talking about getting some doctors, women's health doctors here locally to help out and be advisory board members. And she was telling me that before she was at this specific location, she was in her office and she had a survivor, a traffic victim, come to her for health care. And her trafficker had brought her there. And this was a few years ago.
Sure.
And the doctor said she knew that she was being trafficked. She didn't say it. She didn't self-identify, but she just recognized from the situation and how she wasn't speaking for herself. And he was, controlling the whole,
Groomed her.
Yep. And so she tried to share that information with her staff and nobody believed her.
No kidding.
Like none of the staff believed that was happening. Nope. And she said that wasn't even the worst part is that they came in again and the same thing happened and she tried to share. And it's hard if you're trying to explain something to somebody, especially and you're a doctor and you're in that field, you are staffed by nurse practitioners and office staff. And so, but she said she knew like it was her intuition that her gut. She knew that it was, So a lot of that is unawareness.
Is there like a hotline? Like if you suspect something's happening, what's the best way to report?
Absolutely. And you can go to worthyranch.org and all those numbers are there. If you go to the event, there's a whole website and then it'll take you to the federal numbers. There's a local number as well. So yeah, definitely. And I can post in the, the different numbers.
I love it. Billings, we're going to bounce to a break. We'll be right back. Kicking it with Leif, 98.5 The Wolf.
Gosh, it's really bad out there.
Oh, man.
I was like, every car is like 2 or 3 car lengths apart.
Well, at least they're leaving space, I guess.
Yeah. I think we went on a
Raft trip?
Yeah.
Could have.
It was after the women's retreat. I think Alina, are you friends with Alina, Polly? You know Alina?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she set it up for us.
Yeah.
And we went and oh my gosh, it was amazing. And it was beautiful. I felt like I was on like the best Disneyland ride ever.
No, it is a good time.
And we had survivors with us on that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. And we talked about that maybe that being a part of their activities in the future, like going and doing that together. Yep. I think there's a lot, because for survivors, learning how to trust other people.
Right.
And
So I'm just curious, because it's such a different world that I'm in. Like, are there hundreds and billions?
Yeah. So because of the highways that we have here, it's easier. Yep. And then the laws, and then of course like the land, right? Where there's not a lot of big population here. But yeah, hundreds.
Really?
And unfortunately, there's probably 100 out in downtown Billings right now. Like,
really?
That's
crazy.
A lot of them are kids, and the other thing that people don't realize is a pimp is a trafficker.
Right. Oh,
right. Like if
absolutely.
Most prostitutes don't raise their hand saying I want to. They've been coerced in some way, thinking that was their boyfriend or whatever, and that situation is a trafficking situation, right? So just laws and stuff like that too. That
And that's exactly what Penny Spencer time.
Yep, advocacy. Yep, and training. Yep, and she also works very closely with the FBI. And the authorities too, it's sad though, like we've had, since I've been here, and I've been here almost 4 years, they've already been through 2 FBI agents because they can't handle it. Like it's so much. Like,
really? Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Question is, if you suspect, can you call 911?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah. Yep. You can definitely call 911 and they will, and I think The other thing is we live in Montana where everybody likes to keep to themselves,
Yep.
right? Mind their own business. That whatever they're
That's
doing
why.
is none of my business.
Right.
And so with that is, comes like not wanting to report, not
Right,
sure.
that has nothing to do with me, and I get that, but that sometimes makes it worse.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I am excited though. We did the met with architects, so we're going to be working with the architects that Shane's working with the Eagle Seeker Center.
Oh, cool.
Huge,
Cool.
yeah. So they're going to start the renderings for the ranch design.
Wow. That gets people excited. That
Yes.
gets used to it.
Yeah,
Gets
because
people
then
come
you
in.
can
They
see it.
it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see what it's like,
Absolutely.
And it's not. I mean, what I tell people is, it's not just a program that's a nonprofit. That's only one aspect of the ranch.
Right.
It is a healing center. So like, it will have all different revenues of streams of income. We'll have a restaurant there. We'll have a commercial kitchen. We'll have a professional recording studio.
Nice.
So we're going to do retreats for musicians and, different types of retreats, like writing, like for authors.
Okay.
But all of those elements are part of the career development too.
Billings, we're back. Kicking it with Leif, 98.5 The Wolf,
Yeah.
8:57. 3 minutes to the top of the hour. As we kind of wrap up our discussion, Sherry Hansen-Smith says, I hate that this happens so much in this wonderful place we grew up in. It's not just the big cities and the people that put themselves in bad situations. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Today's word of the day is cherish.
Yeah.
So
Cherish.
what do you think about when you think about that word cherish?
Cherish.
Because I was talking about my mom,
I
and so I
know.
cherished my time with
I
her,
know,
holding her
praying
hand,
for
and
her,
all these
yeah.
different things, and so
Yeah.
you sit there, Tim was talking about losing his mother a year and a half ago, got sick and was gone pretty quick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and his mom was worried about the kids, not worried about herself. And I get that's the mother, you're a mother, you guys all get that. But I was thinking about, cherishing my health, my mother's health,
Yeah.
the time with family. I know family's really big to you,
Yeah.
so lots of ways to look at the word cherish. But what is that word?
Well,
mean?
I think for me, cherish is being present, right? Like in the moment of that you have, right? So it's really being intentional about the time that you're spending with people. And people, like for me, like will say, oh, I see you doing this and you're doing that. I'm very intentional about the things that I choose to attend with the people I surround myself with.
Sure.
And that's because I cherish them.
Right.
I cherish the opportunity. And so, being everywhere all the time isn't really the goal, but being with, people that I cherish, and making moments that I cherish
love
is
that.
important. So I think just really being intentional and present with people.
Remind me your is it 3 or 4 pillars that you live by?
Yeah. So faith, fun, and creativity.
Faith, fun, and creativity.
Yeah, which is kind of evolving. So as we grow, as we all do, things evolve. But faith has really turned into a knowing for me.
Sure.
It's I believe that hope is the beginning of a conscious level. Hope is like, I hope the Dolphins win the Super Bowl, right? But
That's a wish,
what's the
that's not
chance,
right.
right? And then, or I have faith, right? I have faith. I believe, right? I believe that this is going to happen, but they're still leaving. So that's only 51%.
Sure.
Versus I know.
I got you.
And so I think, I'm moving to the stage of I know there's yes.
Fun and creativity.
Yep.
Love that. Well,
Yep.
thanks for coming. Thanks
Thanks for having me.
trekking out on the snowy roads.
Yeah.
Tim, have a great time. Well, you're going to work today.
I gotta go to work, yeah.
Are you going skiing this weekend?
I probably will. It's kind of based on the temperature, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, because you don't want to ski when it's like 50
No,
below.
but I'll probably either hike in the morning or, cross country ski or something when it's cold. So I'll get out.
I need to do that.
Yeah, I love that. Really good stuff.
Learn to ski.
Yes.
Absolutely.
My son is a professional snowboarder.
Oh,
Yeah.
see?
Perfect.
And he works on he was in Australia over the summer, but he blew out his knee. So he had to have surgery. So he's here and he's dying. Like
I imagine.
He wants to get out.
yes. And I'm like, so hard to keep him from like going out to Big Sky or even
Right.
up to Red Lodge. that's their passion. And
Yep,
he just,
I
He
understand
feels,
that.
he feels all pent up, doesn't he?
yes,
Yeah.
it's driving him
That's tough.
insane. Yep.
Billings, we'll be back Monday, better than ever, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. in the studio of Positivity. Remember the word cherish. Get out there and cherish the
Cherish.
ones that you love. Cherish your time together. Cherish your pets. Cherish your partner. Cherish, cherish, cherish. In a world where you can be anything, Billings, please be kind. Kicking it with Leif, 98.5 The Wolf.
Awesome.